Well, Sir M, here we are in the wilds of Norfolk, heading towards the Broads. I'm afraid we might be a little bit lost, mate, but we are in the general area and all will become apparent soon. So what do you think, mate, so far?
Well, I haven't been to the Broads for, I don't know, a couple of decades. And I mean, I had some great times catching pike and perch, but I think for this time, I'm going to target perch because there's been a real explosion of perch over here, like there is around all parts of the country.
Well, I think the actual list of species is reducing because we've ticked quite a few off, and that's great because it's got us ahead in the race. But now we're going to come to the hard miles, I think, mate, because we've got to start catching a few pounds of fish to keep on the move. And personally, I think two of the vulnerable species here that we could catch, my minimum is if we can try and get an eel and a rudd.
Tell you what, you fish for the eel.
Oh no, you've got to fish for the eel. Well, I think we're going the right way now, mate. We're heading towards the Broads. I know this looks like the middle of nowhere, and it is, but I do think this is the right way, Sir M.
Look at all them taters.
Big pile of potatoes on the left-hand side.
You wouldn't go hungry in Norfolk, would you?
No, not at all. Well, Sir M, another adventure begins.
Yeah. Let's see what the evening brings.
Indeed, indeed. I've never been on the Broads before. It's nice, isn't it?
Well, I've not been for many a year, but it's always been nice.
Yeah.
The fishing can be up and down, but it's a nice place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Try not to run the swan over. Well, look, Mick, we've only got about an hour of light left today. It's a bit of a you know, dash and splash, but I think we could go for maybe a decent perch tonight. It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, at least we'll have a recce for tomorrow, and you know, an hour spent now finding a good swim, and it could set us up for a good session tomorrow.
Pressure's on tomorrow, mate, because the weather's going to change, you know, and we're looking at thunderstorms and a real big cool down, so we need to try and get this job done as much as we can in the next 24 hours, I'll tell you.
Well, we're up against it. The wind's coming off the sea now from the east, and you can just feel it starting to chill now. Yeah, it's the abode of some wealthy bastard, I think. Can you say that? You can, can't you?
Say what, mate?
It's the abode of some wealthy bastard.
Oh, yeah.
If we'd have played our cards right, that could have been us, couldn't it?
Could have been us.
Yeah.
Spent our lives fishing instead, mate.
I know. What would you rather do, Matt? Spend your life fishing or earn a lot of money and be able to afford a really nice summer house like that? Fishing?
You know what I'd do? I mean, my view is that nothing's more valuable than time. And the time that we've spent on the water over the years, in nature, you can't put a price on that, mate.
No.
There's many, many people who would have given their right arm to have a life like we have, so I'll never regret it. And let me tell you, if reincarnation is a real thing, the Duke, then I'm coming back either as a fisherman or a heron, you know, or an osprey. Well, we're going up into a little broad now, you know, so this channel hopefully will open up into something.
Well, I can tell you the name of the broad. It's called Bargate Broad, and the reason is I looked it up on Google Maps before we set out.
Well done, mate.
And I just get the feeling it could be a good place for catching rudd. You know, it opens out into like a little lagoon at the end, I believe.
Well, that's good, considering we haven't got any rudd catching stuff with us.
Yeah, but where there's rudd, there's perch. And we can always come back and catch a rudd tomorrow. We've got options, haven't we?
If the dog hadn't stopped for a shit, he'd have caught the rabbits, Sir M.
That's right. You can't say shit on television.
That's right. If the dog hadn't stopped for a you-know-what, he would have caught the rabbits.
That's more like it.
It's like coming into like some little hidden world.
Yeah, it's like the
It's
lost
like all
world,
these
isn't it?
Channels and trees in the water. There's so many places that could hold fish.
Yeah.
This is going to be blooming tricky, mate. It's an incredible place.
Well, the trouble is there's too many places where the fish can hide.
Needling a haystack,
You know,
innit?
there won't be fish in every feature.
Yeah, look, it's like coming into a lake
Oh,
now.
look at this. I believe, Matt, that all this was dug out for the peat that's under the ground, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I mean, it's hundreds of years ago. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's like going
Well, I
into
say
some back
interesting,
garden here.
there's pubs and beer gardens. This is your proper Norfolk Broads, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that get some perch. Apparently this is a noted area for perch, and the method I'm using is the drop shot, which is a method we've been using on other venues previously, and basically we're just holding a little piece of rubber that looks like a fish about a foot off the bottom and jigging it about, making it look like a live fish. And perch, if they're there, they usually respond pretty well to it. And all you'll feel on the rod tip, we've got a very sensitive rod tip, just be a little pluck, it won't be much, and you have to strike at every one.
Well, basically, I'm fishing the same way as the Duke. The only difference is that instead of having a small plastic lure on the bottom, I've actually got real worms. You can drop shot with live bait, you know, with like worms. It works really well. You can fish it the same way. And sometimes with wary fish, it can make a big difference. Well, we've also got quite a lot of drop shot lures here. I've been trying a worm, but you can see there's lots of little small fish imitations, and I like the look of this one here. Well, this is what we call a pair of eyes. If you look at a lot of small fish, they're really dominated by the eyes. The eyes are massive. And I think that the fish often use the eyes as a bit of a target. This is a very nice little fry imitation. I'm going to give him a swim, just nick him onto the hook. And there he is, look. Nice little lad. Sort of looks vaguely perchy. Nice.
You know, mate, you can see why this style of fishing is becoming so popular. It's just fascinating. You get into like a little lost world of just watching your rod tip for them little teeny taps. And sometimes the bites are so delicate. It's proper fishing really, isn't it? You know, you're not waiting for one to hook itself.
Oh no, it's active.
You know, I love it, I do. I mean, that's my opinion, mate. What do you think?
I don't mind doing it. I love all lure fishing, but I think there are better techniques or more enjoyable ones to fish. I find this a bit, to be honest, a bit dull.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, honestly. But, you know, each to their own. I've got him, yeah. I don't think it's a big one though, Sir Em. It's the curse of the small perch again. But on these very light drop shot rod with a very sensitive tip, you get a great fight on even off small fish. Look at that. Nice little perch. Lift him in. And there he is. It's not the biggest one I've ever caught, but beautiful. It's a star. I think the purpose of tonight is a bit of a recce really. We've only got probably about an hour and a half's fishing, and I know nothing about this place, and to be honest, the Duke hasn't been here for ages. So I think when you get to a new fishing place for the first time, you need to get a feel for it. Just go out and do some fishing, try some different things, and just watch what goes on and then formulate a plan. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for us because, to be honest, we're in a race against time with the weather, so I think we've got to get whatever we need from the Norfolk Broads tomorrow.
Yeah, Matt. I've got one on the soft plastic. Here it comes. Ooh.
Bit bigger that one, Sir M.
Slightly bigger. Do you know what I did? First time I've tried this, I just tipped it with a bit of worm. I just put a bit of worm near the head. And first cast, bang, I got a fish. So I'm going to try that again. You've got to keep trying different things. And when you're struggling to catch as we are at the moment, you know, it's worth trying all sorts of things. And the way I look at it is that the little fish are having a go at the worms, but for some reason they're not getting them into the mouth. So I thought maybe put a soft plastic on, and they can't nip at that. They've got to get it right in. Well, we're running out of time, mate.
I know, it is a race against time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really hope we'd get something more out of it.
Yeah.
Just a decent fish to warm the cockles of our hearts and give us encouragement for tomorrow, but it's the curse of the small bait robbers. Well, I've got another one on Sir M, but I don't think it's going to break any records, mate. We're scratching them out here, but getting most of the bites actually by using pieces of or elements of real worms, and you can do that on the drop shot, you know, because eventually they become very, very wary of lures, and we're entering a very interesting phase. Lure fishing has never been more popular in the UK than it is right now. Everybody wants to do it, but I can tell you the fish are wising up, and that's why using bait, albeit on lure fishing stuff, can be a really effective remedy. But what I was hoping is that the perch would be about 4 or 5 times bigger than this one. It's nice to catch fish, but in a rod race, we need some points. Here's another one, look. Oh, and he's released himself. Still, he's left me with worm, so happy days. Bung it back out there and see if I can get another one. Come on, let's have a big one. Oh, look at that, that's not a perch. Look at this, Mick.
A rudd, is it?
I've got a rudd. Cool, it's a beautiful fish. I've been going on about how difficult the fishing is, and I've just got a 50 pointer. That's one of the fish on the list. I've just got a rudd on a drop shot gear. Crazy, but I'll take it. Off you go. Wow. Well, you know what, Sir M? I reckon we've put 2 miles on the board tonight.
Oh, look at this one, Matt.
That's nice. Yeah, that's not a bad one, mate.
I won't risk lifting that, shall we?
Yeah, I'll lift it out if you
Can you
like.
lift it? Touch the leader and we've
Yes,
got
that's
it.
a nice fish. It's a pound, that is, Mick, easily. There you go, my son.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. You can see this one's a bit of an old warrior by the state of his fins here. He's had a few tangles with something. Who knows, could be cormorants or even an otter. And possibly he's got a story to tell, this lad. Ooh, and he's a lively one, but off he goes. Well done, mate.
We want one twice as big as that.
I know, but you know, we can dream. Come off. Oh, I've just lost a good one there, mate. Right on the last of the light. I think, Mick, this is going to have to be last cast. We're going to try and sneak one out here now, but it's got to be, because it's going to be dark by the time we get back in. And we get to the house, mate, it will be pitch black. And I don't fancy driving this boat around the Norfolk Broads in the middle of the night when I haven't got a clue where I'm going.
Well, I've got my last one, Matt.
All right, well, I'll try and get my last one then.
Yeah, well, this is definitely my last one.
I've got one on the bite. He's a better one. He's definitely a better one for him. He's pulling. This one, look. Oh, the sport's coming thick and fast with the light fading. It's my last one, Sir M. And I don't want him to come off because he's one of the better ones.
Oh, that's a better one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice fish. Let's take him out like that. Well, it's encouraging, isn't it, mate, in a way? We've eked out a few and we've not been here long. We've probably had about an hour and a bit fishing by the time we finished. I was going to say fannying around, but you can't say that on television, so I'll say by the time we finish messing about. But here we've got my last fish of the session anyway, which is just giving me a right old beating, really. But there it is, lively as you like. The light's going. We've not had a really big, and it's a nice one, but it gives us something to build on for tomorrow.
And there's mine, Matt. That's the last one for me. That's about as far as I can get to.
There you go, Sir M.
Yeah, there we go.
Brace.
Oh. How about that?
Well, good morning everyone, and it really is a beauty, isn't it? It's looking like it's going to be hot today. In case you're wondering where we are, we've made our way down the east side of the country. Remember, we were on the Trent in the last episode, and now here we are on one of the most iconic fisheries in Britain. I'm talking about the Norfolk Broads. And this is a place called Brundall, which you'll find on the map. It's not a very big place, but as you can see, it's very scenic. Now, it's an absolute network of channels and broads and pools and all sorts of things, so it's a fascinating place. But the most important thing from our point of view is we've got a great setup here to operate from. We've got a superb boat with great digital technology on it, and we've got this place, Mick, haven't we?
Well, I mean, the setup, it's second to none, really. I mean, the accommodation is absolutely top class. The location, I mean, just look at it, look where we are. And the thing is, Matt, what we said is we wouldn't go for easy fishing. And we've come to this beautiful place. There's so much water to fish. The chances of us cracking it in a couple of days is a bit slim, but, you know, that's part of the challenge.
So, I mean, basically, mate, all we had time for last night, really, was a quick splash and dash, wasn't it?
We did, yeah. And, of course, the information given to us by the staff at Marine Power, they took us straight to an area where there were some good fish, and we hit the jackpot. We caught one of our target species, the rudd, and I'd say on quite an unorthodox method, really, Matt.
Amen to that, mate. It was absolutely magnificent. We're very grateful to Marine Power for giving us this. And before anyone says anything, this is our base. But I said that I would sleep in the van, and I think Mick will confirm that I've stood by that, even though the temptation of staying in here is very strong. But I've done it. Nonetheless, we're very well looked after, but it doesn't change the fact that the pressure is on today. And the pressure is on because basically the weather forecast for the day after tomorrow, our last day, is pretty appalling. So we've got to get it right.
You know, Matt, this river system is absolutely vast. And where do we start? I mean, if I wanted to come to grips with this, I'd spend the whole season fishing down here, try so many different places. It would take me that long to get some idea of where the fish are. And in the limited time we've got, we haven't got a very good chance, to be honest, if I'm honest. But, I mean, look at the herons all down here. They're finding little fish. And if they're finding little fish, that's what the perch want. So I think if we keep dropping in places that look like they've got potential, we might fall lucky. But what we want really, though, is to drop in one of them spots and get a big perch.
Or a big rudd.
Yeah.
But I take the point you're making, mate. You know, the technology is great, but you've got to overlay it with what we call watercraft and personal experience.
You have, but they go hand in hand today, don't they?
They do.
That's the way it is today.
Yeah. Never ignore your instincts.
No.
That's my motto.
Yeah, have you noticed the type that I've got here? They've got the little bead on that locks the worm on.
Yeah, yeah. I was using those yesterday, they're very good actually.
Are they effective?
Yeah, but the wire's quite fine though. The only thing I'd say is that don't whack it hard, because I think you'll straighten them out.
Yeah, well...
They're wonderful hooks. I had one stuck in my finger yesterday, right past the barb, and it was quite painful getting it out. Yeah. So they go in, but they're quite soft as well.
Yeah, well, you've just got to play the fish carefully, haven't you?
Yeah, not hook yourself. That's,
well, that's a good idea, yeah. I'm a bit worried about the yachts. They're coming up on the wrong side of the river.
They are, yeah.
But you're supposed to stay on the right-hand side, but of course they haven't got the same control that we've got. But
we'll head over, I think.
But the rule of the river is that, we've got to give way to sailing boats.
Well, I'm going to give them a swerve, Sren.
Yeah.
There's so many boats on here. This is going to be a bit of a nip one pearl two here, mate. It's like the Spanish Armada coming up the river.
Yeah. I think we should try and get well out of the area where they're working at the moment.
I think that's one of the wisest things you've ever said.
Oh, I can do wise when...
In fact, to be honest, I think it's the only wise thing you've ever said.
Well, that's one more wise thing than you've ever said. How about
that's
that?
true, all right. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I think this is where we found last night, isn't it? Right, let's get the equipment down. How's that, Matt?
It looks good. Are we anchor locked now? Okay.
Yes, we're anchor locked.
I can actually see shoals of fish on the camera, and they're moving, so they have to be fish. They're not all on the bottom, but most of them are concentrated around the bottom. I can see that it's just over 10 feet deep, 10.5 feet deep, and there are fish down there. So it's a game changer, isn't it, really? To be honest, we've had a bit of a disaster, because one of the rods that we got rigged up for float fishing today, somehow during the course of the night, we managed to bust the tip off it. So we've only got one float rod between us. And I'm going to have a go with that. Mick's going to try the drop shot, putting a worm on, and I'm going to watch him for a bit on this screen, because I am fascinated to see whether I can see the fish following his bait. And then I'll have a go at float fishing. I'm going to feed the swim, put some ground bait in, some maggots, and then I'll trot down behind it and see what turns up. For the time being, I think I'm going to watch the Duke on the telly. While you fish there now, I'll just drop a few balls of ground bait out.
Okay.
And just feed the swim.
You float fishing, Matt?
I am, mate, yeah.
Top tip,
Yeah?
put a float on.
Good Lord, I'd never have thought of that.
Well, if you're a beginner, you might not have thought of it. Yeah.
Well, I am. Clearly.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch the telly, Mick, because it is fascinating. I'm seeing quite big shoulder fish. Lots of small ones, but some bigger ones there. They're definitely there, mate. Well, I've got a fish here, Mick, on the float, on a piece of lobworm, and it feels all right, mate, actually. I think we might need the net here.
Ooh.
It's going upstream. It's going like stink. It's going nuts. It's going, look at it, it's going downstream. Oh, it's a nice perch.
Oh, yes.
I'll try and avoid your drop shot rod. Well done.
I've got it, mate.
Thank you, sir. Well, there you go, mate. That's a Norfolk Broads special, isn't it, that perch?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely condition, actually, mate. And still got the worm hanging out of its mouth. Well, if we get a few more like that, mate, we're going to start building up some weight, which we need at the moment, don't we?
I'm into another one, Mick. I think it's a good one. It's really fighting well, this. It's down deep. Here we go, mate. Very nice looking fish. Get the net. Oh, that's a beauty. Yes! Have some of that. Let's have a look in here. At you. Because you look chunky. You are chunky. Beautiful fish. How about that, Sir M?
Very nice, very nice. Oh, I've just had a take on that little deadbait, mate.
Well done, mate.
I don't think it's particularly big, but the little roach I put on was about 3 inches long, so it could be a better fish.
Could be a good fish, Mick. Oh yes, he's fighting, mate. He's a fighter.
It's not
Good
that
fish.
big, is it?
It is. It's a good one, mate.
Here he comes.
Got him.
Got him.
Well done, sir. That's a 2-pounder.
Well, it could be. Could be.
Oh, it is, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh, you feel the weight on that.
It's a 2-pounder. I've told you.
Look at that, Matt. You've got to be pleased with that, mate.
It's a beauty.
Oh, it's well over £2, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it's an absolute clunker. Beautiful condition and change of tactics. We thought we're getting the regular size perch on worms and maggots, but a change to a small dead bait, and then we got a real cannibal perch.
The morning so far, what can I say? We've been fishing for about an hour. We've had 4 big perch, and we've really only just got started. It's bright sunshine. You would not go perch fishing in weather like this if you had a choice, but we don't have a choice. And I'm so glad we did come, because regardless of what's happening in Ultimate Rod Race, we're having a blast here. We've got a day on the Norfolk Broads, beautiful weather, and we're getting perch. I think it gets much better than that, you know. This is a big one. Whoa! Mick, this one's fighting like a barbel. I've hooked it right off those reeds. It's a much softer rod than that one you've got though. It kind of bottoms out a bit in the middle because it's a match rod, it's meant to.
Yeah.
It's not really meant for plain fish in this deep water of this size, I don't think, but it's absorbing the lunges of the fish, which is the most important thing. I've just got to take my time, and I can hear the line singing a bit there, mate. Can you?
Yeah.
They're buggers for that, you know, Mick. They keep going in, look. He's in. He's in a snag, he is.
No, he'll come out. Just keep the pressure on, he'll come out.
I think so, mate. You see all the stalks that came up out there?
Yeah, yeah.
It's where the lines just cut through them.
Try slack lining, that's always...
I've just done it. Fish might not even be there now.
I could see the way you were pulling into it. That was probably the biggest one of the day, I think. I'll tell you what, with the spot lock on this boat, we could take it over there and lock it over there, couldn't we?
We could take it off if we thought the fish was still on.
But then again, we might ruin the swim, so...
Yeah, we could. And it's solid, mate. Well, that was really bad actually, because I hooked a very big fish there, and I'm pretty sure it was a big perch. And eventually it just went into a snag and broke me off. It was a really big fish, that. And well, when things are going as hard as they are at the moment in this kind of weather, I could do without it, to be honest. A bit gutted. Well, we had a bit of a lull there for about an hour with very little happening, and suddenly I tried to cast much closer to the tree and the float slid away and I'm into a nice fish here. Ready with the net, Sir M? This one's a bit of a lunker. You see where he's been in the weed. He's fighting like a barbel. I've got a good one on here, Mick.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Well, I'm thinking that looks like a really good perch and I don't want it to come off. Are you ready, Sir M? Here she comes. Ready?
Ready?
Yes!
Oh yeah.
That could be the best one yet, Sir M.
I'm going to give you 3 for that, mate. It's
Well, I
very,
dunno.
very, very close.
Have you got your magnifying glasses on?
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 3 pounder without those glasses on, yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. You pleased with that?
Yeah, a bit,
I'll
yeah.
bet you are. I'll bet you are.
Well, mate, I think you can honestly say that we couldn't have hoped for more than that, really, coming here. I mean, regardless of how many miles it gets us down the road, remember that Ultimate Rod Race is a snapshot of fishing in the UK in the 21st century, and it's looking like there's a bit of life left in the old girl yet. Well, what I'm fishing with here is an Avon type float, and I'm actually using half a lobworm on the hook, size 10 hook, bulk shot down, because we're fishing in 12 to 13 feet. So you want them shot down the line to get that bait down quick and stabilise it. And then a nice big Avon float up at the top end. And what that shot does is it gets the bait down quickly near the bottom, which is where a lot of the fish are, and then it stabilises it. So I can hold the float back, slower than the pace of the current. I can hold back and just let the line trickle out, hold it, let it trickle. And that's called trotting the swim. So it's a really effective method. I mean, it's as old as the hills. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So, you know, it's bread and butter, but it still works. And fishing, I think, is at its best when it's simple. If I lift my finger, you'll see that the line peels off the spool, dragged by the current. But if I stop it, it stops the float, the bait rises slightly in the water, and I let it go again, it drops back down. What I'm doing is just easing it just above the bottom, and it's rising and falling, fluttering if you like, and that's very attractive to the perch. And that's called trotting the swim.
We need to one on the dead bait again, mate.
Well done, Mick.
I managed to
God,
get
we're
it.
having a day and a half here, mate.
Well, I managed to get me bait within about 10 inches of the bush. I was very fortunate to not stag up actually, but I'll tell you what, as soon as the dead bait hit the bottom, the bloody perch had it.
Well, it could be another good one, mate.
You never know, it might be a pike.
I'll tell you what, the way that's fighting, mate, that could be the biggest one of all. It's a good one. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just a good one, isn't it?
It's another 3 pounder, mate, I'm telling you.
There's one for everyone. That's a nice fish, isn't it?
That's a big fish, yeah.
Let's have a look, Matt.
Let me see where they're...
It's a shame we got no scales in there. Oh, Christ, that's...
What a day this is, Mick. It's another 3+er, my friend.
I mean, do you know, if you ever came down to the Norfolk Broads for some pleasure fishing and out in the boat catching fish like this, it's just the perfect holiday for an angler, isn't
Look
it?
at the vermilion fins, the way they're shot through with colour. It's absolutely exquisite, that. It's a beautiful fish, mate.
It's definitely over 3 pound, isn't it?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, my little 3-inch roach, it would have gone in there without touching the sides, wouldn't it?
Swallow a ½ pound fish easy. But you know what, Mick? It's a good hour since the last bite, and now it really is getting like the M6. It's nuts here. We're actually right in the middle of this huge, massive boat traffic. It's like rush hour on the Norfolk Broads. And I'm just wondering, mate, whether we should call it a day. It seems to have died off. Maybe go back and try for some of those rudd in the marina. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I could do with a change of scenery because it's really hot in this baking sun. I can't believe we're catching perch in this baking. hot sun, bright weather. It's not perch weather, is it?
No.
No.
Having caught some amazing perch, you might think, well, what's next? And we've racked our brains, but one thing that we do know is that here in this marina there are mullet, because we've got big tides at the moment. So there's a tidal influence on the Broads here, on the lower end of the Yare. And so we've seen several mullet cruising around. Now mullet are one of two 100-point fish. One of them is char, which we won't catch because we're not going anywhere that's got them. But the other one is mullet. And the only chance we've got of a mullet is here. Now what I know about mullet fishing is that they're very frustrating fish. They're always on the move, they're largely indifferent to baits, and then suddenly you'll come across one in the right mood and bingo. But if you hook one, it's one of the hardest fighting fish you'll ever hook. They go nuts. If you're going to catch mullet, you don't need expensive stuff, and a loaf of bread is as good as anything. But unfortunately I've got these bait robbers in here, so I'm going to sneak round the back and throw a few pieces in and hope that these lads don't find it. A lot of people get worried about noise and fishing. Actually, human voices aren't the problem. You might have wondered why I'm kind of creeping around on this board, and it's because what disturbs fish is footfall and vibration. So approaching the water quietly and not spooking the fish. If I stamped my foot now, the fish here would go in lots of different directions. And mullet are very, very wary fish. So what I'm doing, this is an area where I've seen mullet. So I'm using up some of the ground bait that I've got left over from this morning, which is hempen halibut pellet, all crushed up, and inside it I've put some krill liquid, which is a seafood flavour that mullet like. And to bomb this through all the rudd, I'm putting in some big balls of ground bait just to get down to the bottom. And then over the top of that, I'm blasting in loads of maggots and bits of bread. So normally when you're feeding maggots, to get fish in a frenzy, you want to be drip feeding them like this. You know, maybe 10 at a time or 6 at a time or whatever. No good when your swim's full of rudd because they're going to nobble everything. So what you got to do is do what your granddad used to do and take a big handful and slap them in, because they'll get through the rudd. And then if we get a mullet come in, then probably the best bait to hook it on is going to be a big lump of bread flake or crust if they come up to the surface. So I'm going to put some of that in, but again, there are going to be rudd here. That's inevitable. But what I'm hoping is that the feeding disturbance made by these rudd will draw the curiosity of the mullet, and eventually one of them will have a nose on the bait. It's a long shot, but it's worth a go. Basically, you've probably noticed that I'm wearing this sort of retro fashion waistcoat, and you might be wondering why, because I might look ridiculous in it. But the reason is John Wilson. And of course, Wilson always wore his waistcoat. So I thought, why don't I channel my inner Wilson when I'm going to Norfolk? And that's exactly what I've been doing out of respect for the great man. And the last big perch I caught was on a John Wilson Avon quiver. How about that? John actually brought out this, specialist, as it's called now, rod that could be a quiver tip rod or with a straight donkey top, a specialist type rod. And it was just a great all-round fishing rod, and they sold thousands and thousands and thousands, including one to me as a youngster. I had one of these. This is one of the latter models that came out. It's a really nice piece of kit actually, and it's very much cherished because John was one of my heroes, and when I watched him on telly when I was young, I wanted to be him, you know. And so to be here in John's patch and using his stuff and wearing my waistcoat feels pretty good actually. Well, look at this. It's a bit of a lifetime collection of floats here. There's one thing that a fisherman can never have too many of, and that's floats. I love them. There's all different kinds in here and they've all got a story to tell. I've had some of them 20, 30 years and they're still going strong. And I just like messing with them and looking at them and fishing with them mostly. But here's a classic. Look now, that's a really old traditional float. That one is what's called a Boltheron Croquil Avon, but this one's even more traditional because the body's made with elder pith, which is a very, very buoyant material. And it's fluted to make it more stable in the current. Don't know how that works actually, but they tell me it does. But it's a lovely old thing and it's caught some fish, you know. One of the most important pieces of fishing tackle you'll ever own probably costs about less than 50p, and it's called a plummet. And it's used to tell you what the depth is underneath the float. And it's a really, really important piece of kit. So you can spend your 200 and your 300 quids on your electronic gadgetry, but let me tell you, this might be analog, but it's really, really vital piece of kit. Blimey, I don't, you know, that every time I go fishing, I try to work out, how do I get all the stuff back in the box? I haven't bought any more, but it just doesn't fit, ever. Anyway, let's go and plumb it up. Might take a few goes to get this right, but I don't want to make too much disturbance. Let's have a look here. I think this is set too shallow. Oh yes. Now, but you can see the float under the water. So I'm only about 8 to 10 inches shy on the depth there. So I'll just add about 1/3 of a metre onto the depth, or a foot as we used to say in the old days. And we'll see what happens now. With any luck, the float will just be breaking the surface. And I'll know then that I'm dead depth. And there you go. Absolutely perfect. No modern technology involved there. Right, now we put some shots on.
Well, we're coming to the end of the day and we've had a good day. We've caught some lovely perch, but you know, Matt and I, we still want to catch another big one. And there's supposed to be some in this boatyard under the platforms, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Just to add another big perch to our tally.
Well, I've started catching some lovely rudd. I think the average match angler would probably frown at my tactics of cramming 5 maggots onto a size 10 hook. But it's the only way to get through the really small ones to these slightly bigger rudd. It's a lovely looking fish though. Ooh, and there's so many of them down there, look at that. Classic rudd. Well, I'm sitting here now trying to catch a mullet and mainly catching loads of small piranha like rudd, but the series so far for me has been fantastic really. I was very nervous going into it. You do get doubts. It's a long time since we've done this. Fishing has changed and I think in some ways it's got harder since the early days. And obviously that bothered me, along with the fact that we don't have much time to do this, you know. We have much shorter time than if we were fishing, you know, for pleasure, because basically we've got to film everything that we do. We have to stop, start, stop, start, so you don't get any sort of rhythm. So I think really the first episode for me was a great tactical victory, because whereas the fishing wasn't spectacular, there were actually 6 species of fish in Loch Ken that I thought we might catch. I'd have been happy with 3 or 4 to be honest, and we ended up with all 6. It wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. And the scenery was amazing, the campsite was amazing. I mean, it's just a beautiful place and so many happy memories from that trip. And then we drove down the east side of England. We crossed from west over to the east, and we made our way down to the River Trent, which is a river that I've not really fished much in the past. And I chose it deliberately because of that. In fact, a lot of the venues that we've chosen in this rod race have been chosen because we haven't been there before. We hadn't been to Scotland in rod race before, for example. And so the Trent fitted that bill really beautifully. And I was amazed, actually. I mean, the fishing was absolutely out of this world. I think on the first afternoon that I fished there, in just a few hours, I got 6 barbel and lost about 3. Good fish too, to, you know, just over 9 pounds. And then the second day, tactically, I think I got it right. That really pleased me, because most people, when they're fishing for barbel, are fishing almost exclusively with pellets. And I used that chili hemp to great effect and starved them a bit of the pellets. So tactically, I felt I got it right. The results were spectacular. We caught a number of big barbel, and they were such hard fighting fish on that big river. And I think the highlight, obviously, has to be the 12-pound barbel. It was a beautiful fish. And when you're rod racing, you know, fish like that don't come along that often, because you're fishing with a limited amount of time, and you have to film every stage of the process. So you can't just go fishing. You have to stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So it's really difficult to get a rhythm going. But that day, I was just blessed. I mean, it was just fish after fish after fish, and big fish too. So I think the Trent episode was just amazing for the sheer number of fish we caught, the size. It was just top fishing. And then we came here. Again, Norfolk Broads, not a place I've fished much. Mick has, but albeit a long time ago. And you know, to be quite honest, I don't know what my expectations were. We'd already ticked off quite a few species, so I knew it was going to be difficult to get a new species. Rudd was probably about the only one that we were likely to get, and we did. But those perch, I mean, you know, for me, the last 2 episodes, the Trent and here, have been 2 of the best rod race episodes of all time. Now, I haven't watched them, but obviously, you know, after years of making these things, you get a feel for what you've got, the energy and, you know, the relationship between me and Mick. And I don't think it could have gone any better. We're really enjoying it. It's a perfect way to, you know, put a nice, it's a swan song in a way, I suppose. You should never say never, but neither me nor the Duke are getting any younger, and we're conscious of that. And I think we've both done this for each other. It's not about money, it's not about commercial success. Neither of us need to do it. I don't need to do it. But for me and Mick, I think we wanted to do this. You wanted us to do this. But there's always that doubt, can we do it? And we can, and we've proved we can. And for me, I feel liberated, and I don't care what happens from now on. I think for me and Mick, we feel we're at it and we're as good as we were. So I'm really happy, actually, and I'm enjoying it, because I think it's a snapshot of angling in the 21st century, and soon it'll be time to hand the reins over to other people. But for me and Mick, it's a really fitting way to put, you know, that nice crowning glory on everything we've done together, and most importantly, to celebrate a very enduring friendship which goes way, way beyond angling. You know, me and Mick are very, very close friends, and just to spend time together, quality time doing stuff like this, I don't know, it's worth its weight in gold, and I've loved it, and I know he has too, and that's important to me as well. I want it to be good for him, and it is, so it's great. Now this is a decent rudd. I can't reach the net, so I'm going to try and swing him in on the old Wilson Haven quiver, but he's a bit big to bring to hand. There he goes. How about that? Lovely. Now that's a nice rudd. Typical sort of shoal-sized fish, really, around about 10, 11 ounces. You can see that it's got all the classic rudd features, the golden scales and the upward slanting lip, the protruding lower lip. And they really are one of the prettiest fish in Britain, if not the prettiest in fresh water. Ooh. Give me my hook back, please. All right, Mick.
Hi Matt, how you doing?
The thing I'm looking forward to the most after the day we've had is going up the chip shop.
Me too. That's right at the front of my mind at the moment, but we've still got a bit of daylight. I'm going to try and catch a few rudd now to
Yeah,
finish
we'll get
off.
in next to me, mate.
Oh, well. How about that, Matt? First cast. There's a lot down there. I'm actually just free lining a very teeny piece of flake. I can't see the fish, but I can see the white of the flake sinking.
You know what, I'm absolutely convinced that if I sat here all day yanking rudd out like this, I could probably get us 80 to 100 miles. There's that many here, but that's not in the spirit of the rod race. The rod race is about exploring, fishing for wild fish and moving around the country and showing, you know, fishing as it is, as opposed to just fishing in one place. We can all do that, go to a commercial fishery and knock out so many fish, but this is the right way to do it. And, you know, I reckon I've probably moved us about 5 to maybe 7 miles tonight, and I reckon we've probably got about 10 or 12 miles of rudd that we've caught since we got here. You know, so they've made a contribution, definitely. So Em,
Yep.
the chip shop beckons. Do you want some chips?
It's been beckoning me for a while now. I'm starting to get a bit tired now.
Right, I'm going to have an extra battered sausage tonight, mate. I think we've earned it.
Ooh, there.
Well, it's only been a short hop for us this time from Norfolk to nearby Suffolk, and today we're at Homersfield Gravel Pit, which is a lake that I've always wanted to fish. It's a very special place, but we're here today specifically to catch a late season target that I think could be tricky, and that's catfish. First fish of the session on the third cast.
I'll be slithering around like this.
It is a celebration of angling after all, and we should be enjoying ourselves. The actual fishing itself is a lot of waiting, but this part, the preparation part, the planning part, the tactical part, that is the key to it.
And believe me, cats love a piece of meat like this, and so do I.
This is exciting because now I've found the method, I've found the rhythm, and I know how to catch them now, and that's exciting.
Whoa, whoa. Oh my goodness. There it goes.
Hang on, Mick. Don't do anything now. Wind, mate.
Oh, I can
Go
feel
on.
it's gone
Whoa,
through
whoa, whoa,
something.
whoa, 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 whoa.
There's life in the old dog yet. And the dogs don't come much older than me, or rougher.